November 11th is National Educational Day in India. November 11th is National Educational Day. It is the birthday of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. November 11th is the National Education Day. It is the birthday of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. This year we are celebrating 130th birth anniversary of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. 130th. He was born in the year 1888. We are celebrating 130th birth anniversary of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. November 12th, yesterday, Public Service Broadcasting Day. The government declared November 12th as Public Service Broadcasting Day. What is this Public Service Broadcasting Day? The last and first visit, that is the first and last visit of Mahatma Gandhi to All India Radio Office in 1947. It is the first visit and last visit of Mahatma Gandhi to the All India Radio Office in the year 1947. November 12th is Public Service Broadcasting Day. And Sri Lankan political parties, some of them, have challenged the dissolution of parliament in the Sri Lankan Supreme Court. Sri Lankan political parties, including the party of Ranil Wickremesinghe, United National Party, including some of the Tamilian political parties, went to the Sri Lankan Supreme Court questioning the dissolution of parliament by Maithripala Sirisena. Here, Maithripala Sirisena, the president of Sri Lanka, called for snap elections. Have you seen the word snap elections? In the exam, they won't ask you what is going on in Sri Lanka, but they will ask you what do you mean by snap elections? SNAP, snap elections. The elections conducted prior to the date than expected. If the elections are preponed or prior to the date than expected, suddenly if something happens, then that's called snap poll. In Sri Lanka, they have called for snap elections, snap polls. Okay, that's very important. And we have one more person called Mahendra Rajapaksa. He was called as Prime Minister, but Sri Lanka, there were snap polls, and he has come out of Sri Lankan Freedom Party. Mahendra Rajapaksa have come out of Sri Lankan Freedom Party and joined Sri Lankan People's Party. He has come out of Sri Lankan Freedom Party and joined Sri Lankan People's Party. Remember this. And next important thing, Amnesty International. Amnesty International is an international NGO for human rights protection. Whenever any international NGO comes into news, you should know the details about that. Okay? Remember, whenever you read about any NGO, international NGO, you should know the details about that. Amnesty International has withdrawn the Human Rights Award given to Aung San Suu Kyi. Aung San Suu Kyi belongs to Myanmar. Her political party is NLD, National League for Democracy. As you all know, we have serious Rohingya crisis in Myanmar, and failure of Aung San Suu Kyi to protect the human rights in Myanmar is a serious issue world over. Last month, Canada, for the first time, have withdrawn the honorary citizenship given to Aung San Suu Kyi? Last month, Canada have withdrawn the honorary citizenship given to Aung San Suu Kyi. Now, Amnesty International have withdrawn Human Rights Award given to Aung San Suu Kyi. The reason is Rohingyas. So, you should also read about Amnesty International. Amnesty International is an NGO for human rights protection, fights against capital punishment, means death penalty, and also works for prisoners of conscience, that means protecting the prisoners' rights, etc. Even wherever human rights abuses happen in the world, Amnesty International takes interest and try to protect the human rights. Amnesty International is an international NGO for human rights protection. Okay, done. Next, one more important thing. Tomorrow, that is November 14th, that is Children's Day. Actually, Children's Day internationally is November 20th. November 20th. But in India, we celebrate it on Jawaharlal Nehru's birthday. UN, in the United Nations Organization, and in many countries, Children's Day is November 20th. And UN Charter on Child Rights. UN Child Rights Convention is there. UN Child Rights Convention is there. And the convention was passed in 1989 and many countries adopted in the year 1992 UN Child Rights Convention. In that, child survival, child development, child protection, child survival, child development, child protection, children education and nutrition, all these things are the rights given to them. And it's very important. November 14th is the National Children's Day. And apart from that, I have started November 14th for different perspective that I wish to explain. November 14th, tomorrow, is our Quad Summit, QUAD. Quad Summit, Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. 4 countries, India, America, Australia, Japan. There are 4 countries in Quad, QUAD. India, America, Australia and Japan. These 4 countries tomorrow are meeting. They are going to conduct the third meeting in Singapore on the sidelines of EAS. There are 4 countries in Quad: India, US, Australia, Japan. These 4 countries tomorrow are going to meet for the 3rd time in Singapore. The meeting is at Singapore. This is the 3rd meeting on the sidelines of EAS, East Asia Summit. Tomorrow they are going to meet. It's called Quad Summit. And we have one more important current affairs. Whenever there is joint military exercise, that's very important for exam. SIMBEX joint military exercise between India and Singapore. SIMBEX is a joint military exercise between India and Singapore. SIMBEX. SIMBEX is the joint military exercise between India and Singapore. Whenever there is a joint military exercise, you have to note it down till your exam, till your mains exam, even interview. Whenever you find that there is a joint military exercise, you have to immediately take the stock of the joint military exercise. SIMBEX is a joint military exercise between India and Singapore. And in the recent past, in the last 1 year, more than 25 names were changed for Indian cities, towns and states. The government approved the change of more than 25, and there were many proposals that were pending. What is there in a name? Name after all is for recognition, right? What is there in a name? Is name after all for recognition? But name carries a meaning. Name carries a significance. Name tells the tradition and culture or the approach, and name is everything after all. So some say, what is there in a name? In the old poetry, in Shakespearean poetry, we will see what is there in a name, but name is everything. Name is also everything. There is a proposal now, people are talking Hyderabad name to Bhagyanagar. Hyderabad to Bhagyanagar. Allahabad to Prayagraj. Faizabad to Ayodhya. Faizabad to Ayodhya. West Bengal to Bangla. Ahmedabad to Karnavati. Ahmedabad to Karnavati. So there is a lot of discussion about changing of names. So name should really signify most of the things, but it's not. Let's wait and see how the government decides whether it will change all the names and each and every name, all these things. And next important thing in the news is GSAT 29. GSAT 29 is communication satellite, basically for internet uses. For better internet quality, GSAT 29 will be helpful. ISRO is going to launch, because of some cloud problem, I heard that it is not yet been launched, GSAT 29. It will be launched by GSLV Mark 3 launching vehicle. GSLV Mark 3. GSAT 29, and if GSAT 29 is the best communication satellite, if at all we go for it, it's going to make miracles in the quality of internet and other communication channels. Let's see whether it will be launched today or tomorrow. I'll check it out. GSAT 29. Okay, whenever ISRO and NASA give some news, you have to follow. Coming to today's newspaper, if you take the first page, Union Minister Anant Kumar dead, you know that. And second thing, Supreme Court frowns on tardy CBC submission. There was 24-hour slate to submit the details about removal of CBI Chief Alok Verma. For that reason, Supreme Court was not happy with the CVC, Central Business Commission. That's okay. And there was a Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh. In Dantewada district. And you all know, of late we are seeing the resurgence of Maoists and their killings. Recently, Kidari Sarveswara Rao, one MLA and one ex-MLA was also killed by Naxals in Araku area. So there are various things. Earlier we thought that government was able to contain Naxalism, but again we are seeing the rise of Naxalism, and few days back even Maoist leaders agreed that they own the responsibility for Kidari Sarveswara Rao killings. Let's hope that non-violence prevail in India, because non-violence is the only mechanism which a civil servant can aspire for. Coming back, the usurpation of freedom of speech, I don't think it is important for you for exam. The lead article today, the usurpation of free speech, this is not important for your exam. And next article is about Saudi Arabia. Last month, Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist, got killed in Saudi consulate in Turkey. Last month, Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist, Jamal Khashoggi was a journalist. He entered into Saudi consulate. He was dead, and Turkey's President Erdogan is saying it was a brutal murder. And he also, it seems that he also got some recorded news about that, and he submitted that. Even America stopped refueling Saudi jets. From last 3 years, Saudi is attacking Yemen to control rebels in Yemen. Even America is not supporting because of Saudi. Saudi have not taken stringent action against the people who perpetrated this murder on a journalist in Saudi consulate in Turkey. In Turkey, generally you all know consulates and embassy offices are there. Generally local police will not enter there. So there was murder of one journalist there, but nothing much was materialized. Saudi is disowning the facts. Saudi Arabia is disowning the facts. Let's wait and see what might happen. Next article is a lost opportunity for the Congress. A lost opportunity for the Congress. This is related to elections. Chhattisgarh polling is over. Chhattisgarh, Mizoram, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Telangana, the 5 assembly polls are going to be very crucial for the national parties and also local parties. BJP is the incumbent government in Chhattisgarh. The other is speaking that Congress might not win in Chhattisgarh. The heading says a lost opportunity to for Congress. LOST, lost. Lost means it was gone. He senses that. But let's wait and see till the ultimate results, final results comes out. Okay. And Ajit Jogi has a party, you just remember the name, Janata Congress Chhattisgarh. The party of Ajit Jogi is JCC, Janata Congress Chhattisgarh. And coming to other news, the reason of our renaming places, just remember what all I told. Rise of AC units in India is contributing for climate change. More and more AC units, more and more climate change. And a funny news is the man who married a hologram. The man who married a hologram. What is a hologram? Hologram is a three-dimensional light beamed projection. 3D light beamed projection. He was in love with hologram and he married a hologram. Even his mother have not attended the marriage. See, I always used to tell, a time will come where mankind will love machines and robots than humans. And the time already have started in Japan. You all know Japan is advanced in all the spheres and Japan is advanced in this sphere also. Slowly it will come to other countries also. People loving machines, people loving artificial things and robots than humans. Because some say machines, pets are more dependable than humans. Okay, and apart from that, there is one news that India stated, compared to fossil fuels, burning coal for energy production, nuclear energy is far better for climate change. For climate protection, nuclear energy is far better. And you all know the countries like Italy, Switzerland, Germany, they are all closing down their nuclear production plants. India is increasing its nuclear production. But because India thinks that in climate change perspective, nuclear energy is far more better than other energy production types. Because it is a renewable energy and also environmental friendly energy, nuclear energy, rather than burning coal, producing energy from fuel, from coal and other things. Let's go with nuclear energy. That is India's stand. These are the current affairs yesterday and today.